Welcome everyone. I am today debuting on stream uh, a list. Well, most of the cards are not too surprising. For those who have been following, the biggest addition in a long time to our deck is the Underground Mortuary in the mana base. That has had other ramifications that I will, I guess, quickly go over. Namely the removal of the second value in the layer of the Hydra that's just no longer necessary. You just want to max out on fetch lands because they grow your Reclaimer, they thin your deck, they uh, represent Underground Mortuary and Dryad Arbor. Um, this is the mana base that Matt's, Ellington, and I settled on. It's the most aggressive and conservative at the same time. What I mean by that is we're running the most lands, but also the maximum number of fetches and the minimum number of, like, I guess, targets, if you want to talk about them. Like, we're just running the best cards, which is the most fetch lands possible. And then I think the big addition here is playing the Mesmeric Fiend main. I tried it yesterday for the first time. It's a card I've liked in the past in the sideboard. Never had the courage, I guess, to play a main deck. On two separate occasions, Matt Ellington did so. He did it a while ago when I want to say last summer, when he and I were working on the deck together, and he had a lot of success at the time. Eventually he moved to the sideboard, but we had at the time the snuff outs and the endurances, like three each in the main. In hindsight, like, it's not bad, but then I think you want to max out endurance in the main, especially now due to the you know countering bowmasters and pitching green, right? Snuff out was decent at the time because control wasn't as good. I think the only sideboard surprise here is we moved the Canoptic Swarm to the sideboard. I'm playing the Foreign Force of Despair. I think I like it enough to keep going. It was like reasonable in my league yesterday. I had a pretty brutal lead in terms of matchups last night, but I went 4-1, beating, in my opinion, arguably for sure the hardest matchup, but arguably the three hardest matchups, which were Creative Technique, which is supposed to be close to unwinnable. High Tide, which is also very difficult. I wouldn't say it's unwinnable, but very difficult because a lot of the cards just don't do anything. Like Endurance doesn't do anything. Bog doesn't do anything. We're like pretty set up well against the graveyard decks and the artifact decks, of which High Tide has neither. Uh, and then the third deck that I think is more winnable, but still probably on the harder side, is Sneak and Show. I think that is probably not as impressive as winning the other two matches. But yeah, I just all kinds of bombs here in the sideboard to combat combo. I think the only locks for me in I consider locks is just like four Thoughtseize, four Snuff Out, and then two Disenchants of some kind. I think Matt's likes Force of Vigor. I like Pick Your Poison because it maps against Delver. I think either is fine personally. Um, and then I have the one Chalice, which I played Agent yesterday, but I'm not in love with Agent. I like Soulless Jailer a lot. This card has been very good to me, so I'm gonna continue playing it. And then the Fairy is the fifth free graveyard hate, I guess. Alright, without further ado, let's jump into it. I don't want to drag on too much. I think the gist is kind of clear. We want to. I don't think I'm losing any fair matchup. I was like, maybe I get high rolled by an Ancient Tomb deck. That's one way to lose a fair matchup, I think. I think Control, if I draw really poorly, I can see losing. You should be super favored against Delver. I think it's almost like a buy at this point. Um, Against the Rescaminator, I think we're slightly favored. Probably not overly well because they have some nut draws that we cannot beat. Essentially, if we're not getting cheesed out of the game, I think we're winning outside of maybe against Control if we draw poorly and they draw well. Especially since we're playing that matchup virtually down game one because we need to avoid drawing Endurance and Collective. But yeah, I think the way we lose fair matchups, like, I think the Ancient Tomb matchups are like a flip of a coin. Going beyond the play is like pretty relevant. If we draw Snuff Out, that is a way to break parity. Um, or break serve probably is the right term I'm looking for, but I just want to play as much anti combo as possible because the more Magic we play, I think the more likely we're gonna be able to do well. And you, as as much as I think that this deck iteration now is the hardest that I've ever played. I think some pilots who maybe are a little not as great with sequencing may have trouble with this version. The decision tree is probably wider than it's ever been. Um, I think the only comparable one is probably during the Glimpse Reclaimer era, but that was more so because you're operating on really tight margins. Not so much the sequencing was difficult, more difficult than this per se, right? I think that one is more you're dealing with low resources and then trying to combo off with precision, right? I think the easiest version to play is probably the Nettle Sentinel and just like kind of vomit your hand, so to speak. Uh, Also fairly easy was the previous Fiend Artisan version, which is as long as you have a good macro plan, the sequencing generally didn't matter. Assuming you don't screw it up too much. I think it matters a lot now because of Underground Mortuary and just sequencing that correctly and just keeping in mind. I also am running the most aggressive mana base in terms of like minimum targets, right? So like only one Bayou. I haven't really needed the second one outside this one corner case where I had like two discard spells. That's probably the only scenario where I it came up once, I guess, where I wanted the second Bayou, but otherwise, you don't really want to draw Bayou now. It's kind of a liability. It's taking a while for us to queue. I think part of that might have to do with the LCQ that's going on currently. Um, I have not been able to play any competitive Magic, unfortunately. Uh, it just doesn't line up well with my current baby situation. So it is what it is, but hopefully I will get to do play some more next season. I think I talked to a good friend of mine via DM, and then in the last year, between just random family things going on and whatnot, I have only gotten a chance to play two of the nine showcases, which is unfortunate, but you know, I think I can't complain because I got that bundle of joy, right? All right, it's taking a while. Maybe I chose the wrong day to stream. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, let me post my socials here. Just I'm in a decent mood, I guess. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to just pop out. Uh, there's nothing too surprising about this list. I think if you've been following within the last few 2 weeks or so, I think we made a lot of ground with the new additions to the deck, and I would like to personally thank or shout out, Matt Ellington, Matt Olay for his top four challenge finish, and then just essentially arriving at most of the same conclusions as me. So that helps. So for instance, I just never had the courage to play the Mesmeric Fiend main, and just seeing him do it a second time, uh, kind of pushed me in that direction to try it at least. And so far, I have to say I've been pretty happy with it. I think this is not a great hand, but I'm gonna keep. It's already a virtual mode of six, but the six is like decent. You don't really want four lands in your opening hand, and this is kind of a shaky start. Yeah. So the other thing is what I've realized is, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that I'm strapped for time anyways these days. I like to test multiple things now in parallel, and then I think my deduction skills are at least good enough where I can kind of draw the extrapolations I draw. I can kind of play out in my mind how it would play out if, let's just say, I test two cards at the same time or three at the same time and one is suboptimal. I think I can draw the correct conclusion even if one card is maybe inhibiting the other two. And yeah, we're playing, in my opinion, the most powerful card in Legacy, which is Gaia's Cradle. And in my opinion, also the most powerful creature in Legacy, which is Elvish Reclaimer, because it finds Gaia's Cradle, right? I know Phenars gets a lot of the attention from the outside looking in. I kind of see Phenarsen as like a Murktide Regent of sorts in our deck. It's really the payoff, not really the engine, right? That is not what I want to see. Hey, how's it going? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm just we're obviously flooding a little bit here, but I don't think I mind too much. I guess. I don't think I can block because of Bowmasters, but what do they pitch the grief? It's relevant, I guess. Wither. Oh my god. I think that's true to an extent, Sadra. There are certain cards that, in my mind, are not remotely playable, and I think testing it is only a waste of time, if that makes sense. Do we want a endurance on this board state? Maybe it blocks. Or are we just digging for something here? Let's just top. That's fine. It can play some defense, I guess. It's telegraphed, but actually, maybe I'm supposed to bin that. Uh, Maybe I'm supposed to just. But the problem is, if I bin endurance, what am I digging towards, right? That's kind of neat. So one reason I kept it is because in case they top deck a reanimation spell or something. But so yeah, I agree with the disagreement to an extent. I do think some options are just not remotely playable, and I still see players test it anyways. Actually, I should have blocked. That was a mistake. Got sidetracked. I don't think I want that right now. So I probably punted this game. Well, I didn't play optimally, but sure. There's the big eraser still in our deck, right? Hopefully, that can bail us out here. Sure. So let's get bailed out by a Green Sun or a Natural Order here. Ooh. They put on top too, which scares me. So one of the problems I see, and maybe I should not pick today to stream, is That's a grief probably. Yeah. That's luckily no harm done. Our hand is trash. One of the problems I see with streaming on a day where there's an LCQ is we're probably gonna run into jank. I think no blocks. Or we can do this. All right, that's Jesus. That's what I get for keeping this hand. All right. My streams have not gone well lately in terms of just getting a normal matchup. So let's see, what do I want to play here? They're like a tempo-ish deck. I definitely want the Scarab Swarm. The Jailer seems reasonable. Not the Shepherd. So, okay, they have a Fairy and a Force that could be relevant. Yeah, I think part of the mistake I made, I don't think it would have mattered, is keeping the Endurance. I think we have to play to find the natural order there. I don't love Thoughtseize in this matchup. I feel like we just fall behind if we play that kind of game. Actually, I should probably board this out, but it's okay. Nope. Probably take the Green Sun, I'd imagine. The reason being is Artisan can still be a kill by Bowmasters. Oh, I'm surprised by that actually. Uh, let's just flood the board, I guess. The reason why I did it this way is because I have two premium targets on board. I'm assuming one's gonna die. Might be the sure. That actually is a welcome sight. So this is the interesting thing, right? I could do it in response, and maybe I want to. I think I want the Arbor and then do that. Smells like opposition agent. So they're gonna flash an agent, and then we're gonna dig again. They always try to get you, and I think it hurts them more. They should just probably main phase it. It's like highly telegraphed. Mortuary. I guess we'll just F6 here. Smells like Bowmasters or a second agent here. No Wasteland is interesting. I think we just bash. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. 3 removal spells. That actually is highly relevant. We just hold back. Can't attack. How funny if that goes the distance. That is also relevant. Wonder what they got though. I don't want this in the graveyard, so they can muck up the board. Might have been better to just attack, not block there, so they lose their agent. But hindsight's 2020. Play that too quickly. Definitely, they lose their agent. Yeah, so I may not have just done that. Even more punish. I drew the green sun there. I forgot about that interaction. I'm gonna lose this game because I screwed up right now. It never. I can never play tight anymore for some reason. That's probably Bowmasters and they can never play tight anymore. I threw this game. No, I don't, do not have removal. I don't believe in removal in this matchup. I if I play tight, like I win this game. I just cannot seem to play tight these days. Also, I probably picked the wrong day to stream in hindsight. Like with the LCQ going on, I don't care about agent. Like I just live with it. Like I don't believe you need to answer every card. All right, we're dead. I win this game easily if I just don't brain fart there that I block for no reason and I cost my the good thing I guess in quotation is this is an irrelevant matchup anyways. So um yeah, if I don't block there with a reclaimer, I attack, they block with the agent, and it's a different game now, right? To be fair, my opponent did not play the best either. Like I don't think they're supposed to leave their agent exposed like that. Also, there's a chance I'm supposed to just like keep in endurance as well because it's weird. I didn't even see any like reanimation from my opponent. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think it's like the fifth or something stream in a row where I've lost the first match, and just like very demoralizing. It's always on my fault too. Like make some dumb play because I'm tired or whatever. Hey, Renatus of Vampirus. The good thing is like I think the play patterns are pretty straightforward. So something I've realized is on my stream, am I not elaborating enough on my plays? Because today I was talking to somebody and I was very surprised at the hands that they were keeping in terms of like I was helping them review their match, and I was like, this is not even close to playable, and I don't understand. Maybe I'm not clear. Maybe I go gloss it too quickly. Some of these lines that I think are straightforward, I guess, and then like people are keeping some strange hands, and looks like DNT. Oops. Take the dork. We're gonna take the dork. If they still swords us here, we're gonna vomit our hand turn two. Probably do swords, but we'll see. Okay, there's swords. Sure. I don't think I care. They probably are playing around LCQ, but that's a bad card in my opinion. So in this matchup, it's important to save the Green Suns, and I think the players who struggle against DNT are just ramping and don't recognize that the matchup is really they're like the control almost. Get an artisan on board and then bash. Maybe they're mono white. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool, I guess. They waste. Sure. 3 mana. So here, somewhat they might flash something. You have to be careful. So a little bit of a mistake on my behalf last turn. Namely, I double spell, but really you don't need a double spell with Shepherd. Oh, they walked into it. That so this matchup, this game already is asterisk, right? Our opponent just made a game losing mistake right now. So if we win, take it with a grain of salt because, like I said, they um, essentially through right now. For I don't think we can do. Well, actually, this is kind. Look, they look like they're on mono white. So this is kind of a disgusting line, but Actually, I can Gris or I can Canoptic myself right now. Canoptic seems reasonable. Or, sorry. Yeah, let's do that, I guess. We have like a zillion mana now. Oh, that's on the sideboard. Okay, I stand corrected. And I'm gonna Gris then, if that's the case. It didn't really change much. I lose a point of damage, but Furor. We're just gonna pass. If they hold that up, they're trying to waste right now, and then we're gonna rotate in response. So the question here is like, do we use the mana efficiently? I think so. Um, yeah, I think that we nuke. We don't have the Canoptic in our main deck here, so might as well nuke their yard. Okay, it didn't really matter. Like, when they made the game-losing mistake, again, asterisk on this match, a game already, right? Against DNC now, it's like really strange, right? Like, they don't have any more creatures that we want to kill. Like, Stoneforge, but even then, I think Seize is probably better now in this matchup. When Snuff Out used to be really good, I think now we're born in this Canoptic Swarm. Endurance has like no text in this matchup, or it's not. It's like a flash 3/4. It's not the worst, but then we upgrade post board. Um, 61. It's like I think this is how we want to board. This is our seething song slash what is it? Sticker Goblin, right? Yikes! 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 The question is like, are we gonna win if we go to 4? Maybe we have to hope we get lucky here. This is like a dig. We'll just keep, I guess. Put that away and put probably this away. Because we care about the vial, right? Sure, we care about her. Actually, that's another reason why I don't bring in Snuff Out anymore. Like all their moms are just dead now. I'm not sure they know about that, but yeah, on top. Sure, they're gonna waste us, presume. Yeah, they should. So yeah, I don't know if D&T players know or not, but like the fact that we don't board in Snuff Outs anymore, like their moms are just all blanks, which is nice, right? Or if they know, then or if they don't know, the cat's out of the bag now, right? So the debate here is like, do we care if they put a vial on one? Probably not. I think we're just gonna ramp. If they want to put another mom in play, like so be it. That is like the worst card for me to see right now. Still have the other one. This cage is gonna be quite annoying. We have outs, but this is gonna get real grindy. Sure. Usually, I'm not concerned about cage because they don't have another artifact. It just so happens that they have two in this situation, which is a problem. Bin. We gotta find the other. Pick your poison now. And now they can sack the germ token or the cauldron complete. I think our route to victory now is Hardcast Hoof. Um, we can do it, but we are under like a 3 turn clock, so that's something to keep in mind. Okay, there's turn one. Well, it's about to be turn one right now. A reclaimer is pretty good here, sure. Actually, maybe not with the port out. I have to draw the thing that. Ooh, that is like pretty decent. That is actually pretty decent. So now a Cradle just straight up wins the game. This attack feels free to me. Probably should have done it prior to, but I don't think it matters. Ephemerate, interesting. What are they getting? A GT? Oh my god, that is a disaster. Okay. I think we're gonna change how we board game 3 if they're on this kind of plan. To be fair, yeah, that's what I'm debating here. If they're trying to like do this kind of stuff, I wonder if we want snuff out. Like we might have to adjust in game here that if they're going for these kind of plays. I guess we can see a little bit more like how their deck plays out. Okay, they kill the Artisan. That's no surprise, I guess. Cut our mana. All right, let's see. We have four. Oh, Cradle wins the game. Look, can we top deck it right now? Nope. So they're probably gonna hit the Noble and maybe an Insect next or something. The thing is, like, unless I'm top decking the Snuff Out of the Seas, I think whatever's still better, right? Like I just take the thing that they grab, and I'm still ahead on mana. They can ephemerate it, but like then it's almost even, right? No, they hit the Reclaimer, so we're still alive. They're playing that too? Okay, sure. Alright, if we get a Cradle here, and they don't, well, they probably will port us, so we're probably dead then. No, actually, no. We are alive. We, we just need a Cradle here. Hey. Cradle, and we have the game. It's close. Alright, now we're just dead. Let's run it back. This is like all value, right? Like, I think I like how I boarded. Uh, there's a chance we want the Mesmeric Fiend over something, but I'm not sure what. I think it's probably fine. Uh, once would not have been alive, but yeah, sure. I think on this board state we just get an Artisan. We don't care about Mom. Uh, th- so this card means they have Cataclysm in the deck. Like I used to play D&D. I think it's bad to run this card because if Cataclysm resolves, you win anyways. Now you just telegraph that you have that in the deck. Ooh, that's even better. Is there a 2-drop that I would want? I can clone an artisan. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. They waste me, but like we have Grist next turn regardless. Sure. So if I Grist here, that's gonna be 3, and I can't Canoptic on the same turn. I'm gonna Grist here regardless. It's just I want to think about how I want to do it is all. If the Cataclysm here, it's not great for us. That would be reason to have the Mesmeric Fiend, I guess. Let me think. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're short 1. If we get the Canoptic here, actually, let's do that. And then we can still Grist next turn. This is kind of funny because that like ramps up the Canoptic Storm. They can port us, but like they port us, they don't develop their own game plan. Looks like a Cataclysm is coming. Sure. All right. Keep that. We keep. Oh, let's do that then. That's cute. Hmm. I missed 2 damage, but that's okay. Well, oh, 1 damage. I think I want the Reclaimer here, and I'll keep this just in case. You probably get a Solitude here. I would have to imagine. Swarm, okay. I actually don't think that does anything against us, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It shrinks our creatures, but that's not really what's winning or losing. I can bash with the Fiend here. If they had removal, they probably would have done it. I'm tempted to just convert this into another dork here. Alright, they're gonna make 4/1/1s. I don't think I actually care. Because we're gonna put a Trax into play. They should have got Solitude if they have that. Unless it's already in their hand. Mm, we're gonna plus. We don't want to mill the wrong card here, but I know, right? That'd be sick. And now we have 6 creatures on board, 7. I think we just have lethal, unless I'm missing something. And I think we have lethal through multiple through Solitude here. If it wasn't lethal, I probably would just get a Trax and play it safe. But it is, so. Like, I would have to have lethal through Solitude, which it is. Actually, I'm getting sloppy. That wasn't even lethal through Solitude. But then again, if they had Solitude, they really just should have done that. Alright, that's harder than it needed to be. So far we're 1-1, 1-0 against the meta deck, and 0-1 against the non-meta deck, as it always goes for our deck. It's funny too because I was just talking to Aaron Relentless Yerg, a good friend of mine, and he said he lost a DNC in the in yesterday's LCQ because they had Cataclysms. And I was actually thinking about it. I was like, oh, actually, I hadn't played against Cataclysm in a long time. It's probably a lot worse now. Now that we don't want Wirewood, simply just bounce like Visionaries back to our hand or like creatures. But we won through Cataclysm there, so it's encouraging. I think we keep. Yeah, I mean, I guess the problem is like, there's nothing in that deck I really want to decay other than Cage, right? Like, if you build your deck correctly, you're gonna leave like one good target, and that's like it disincentivizes the other player from boarding in those kind of answers. Like there's not that many agents being played for what's worth. It's all just one deck, and I think playing Abrupt Decay is just like that card doesn't really do anything otherwise. Like based on the mapping, Trophy's like reasonable, but again, I don't want to lose a combo. Um, Looks like Turbo Depths. I think we can either get a Cradle here or yeah, let's do this. Excuse me. I'm gonna see if they hit land drops. If they don't, I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna tag them Mox Diamond. Actually, probably not. Now that I think about it, because they're probably gonna rotate for the thing, and then they most likely have a combo piece already. Well, like at least one in hand. Uh, so Canoptic is in our sideboard. Maybe they do in response. I don't know. I'm not doing what they think I'm gonna do. I did this because I want another creature on board. In hindsight, though, a better line is maybe I save the. Maybe I'm supposed to save the Green Sun, and then I can just ramp with Reclaimer and play the Shepherd as well. Although that's actually weaker to discard, so actually I do like my play. Like against any black deck, you just have to be wary. Like you want to just commit to the board and not leave cards in hand to like and lose the top deck discard. Here they discard a Shepherd. I don't think we care. So here, kind of wish we had the Canoptic main deck, right? Instead of the Mesmeric Fiend. They most likely have the Sajiri Step in the deck, so we might just be out of luck here. Um, I think I'm gonna do this. And pretend as if I'm getting the Canoptic. So heads up play for our opponent. Heads up play from our opponent. Um, what are the odds that they are not running the Sajiri Steep? They've got to be, right? I think we still get the oof here and hope. Oops, that's not the right play. Alright, now we're just dead. dead. They probably have their deck. I'm just gonna assume they are. Make me feel better at least. I wonder if they activate if I play my land drop first. Maybe they're like at that point I gave them a window where Baseju doesn't do anything. But it's a forced response anyways. If your opponent's in the know, you got and depth players sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. I think with this in our deck, we just play aggressively. We don't need discard. Do we need this? Probably not. Jailer, probably not. Chalice can kill Mox Diamond. Let's see how many cards we have to bring out. This doesn't do anything. So we have enough cards to keep in discard, I guess. This is like whatever. Another thing we could do is like actually discard is better than endurance. I like flirting with the idea of endurance right now, but it's probably bad. This is the one of the matchups where you wish you had the Canoptic Swarm. I think most of the combo decks were not favorite game one. We rather have the Mesmeric Fiend discard effect. My experience with Caracas is it's not good. I've tried it like on my Patreon. I discuss it all the time that I'm trying again, and every time I add it back, I end up cutting it again. Like it is so slow with Reclaimer, and if by the time you can do that, you probably can win anyways. Sure. Agent would be kind of like Savage in this matchup. I think given that we've seen Ghost Core, we can assume they're probably not on Wasteland, and because of that, I think we can probably play the Bayou next turn. You're talking about tutorable land, Max. I'm assuming you are, and I do think Wasteland is better than Karagas. Karagas, in my opinion, it just never works the way you want it to. Magus is reasonable, especially if you're somebody who has problems against control players, and a lot of the control decks just lose to that card. But I haven't felt like I need that extra help against control, but some players do. But yeah, I personally think Wasteland is what I want if there's something I wanted to kill with it. It's been relevant. Also, like you could just play as a tempo play against like it's like highly relevant against Doomsday. It's good against like Cow Post, for instance. I've had it makes the Cloud Post matchup a lot easier. It's winnable still, but like it's more work. It I think a lot of people who lose a Cloud Post just again don't understand the matchup. Uh, so question here is what am I getting? I think we want max mana. In the event we need to like Canoptic, right? Like they have turn two Merit Lage or something like that. Like I want top deck land to be alive. Okay, could be a Hex Mage here. And then they could just play land drop for turn. Sure. They're gonna EOT. They don't respect our end step, unfortunately. Ugh, Jesus. We're not dead, but it's not looking good. Like we need to hit a non-sick land drop essentially. We could just be dead, to be honest. Let's see if they're gonna play around Revoker or not. Or Magus. That's another one, right? I wonder if they are Googling all our list. This delay. I don't think we do anything here. We need to hit a non-sick land, otherwise we're just dead here. Saga is interesting. If they have a crawl, we're just dead though. Sure. That doesn't change anything. Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? We never had a chance to activate Reclaimer news. It's never gonna be in time for Caracas. Okay, I guess we're just dead. Unforge. We would have had 3 blockers, and I think maybe stabilize after that. It's hard to say. We played to our outs. We needed to draw a land. Like we kept a reasonable hand, and unfortunately, this is probably on the harder side in terms of matchups. But we bricked on the land. I think it's fine. I'm not too concerned. Uh-oh. Sun might be awake. Never mind. We're safe for now. Oh, perfect. This is the match I want to play against. In terms of for viewership and mostly for viewership, I guess. If it is what I think it is. Hopefully it is. There's a chance it's not, and then it's more boring, I guess. I live with the noble because I'm assuming he's gonna get bowmasters here. Oops. We're gonna f6 through the turn. I think they might be on mono black though, which is less interesting for chat reasons. There's a chance here they're trying to get us with Dark Ritual into Agent. I'm just gonna pass. If it's what I think it is now. Okay, I guess we go for it. They have it, they have it. Do not have it. The funny thing is we might win this race as currently stands. I wonder what they have. Probably Bowmasters in hand. Blue. Interesting. I think they're on Scaminator then. Sure. Sure. They might be just taking for force. There's a good chance their hand is like force plus pitch. Um, maybe they think they don't need a Bowmasters here because the hand's like super redundant. That's a possibility. And maybe one of the cards in hand is also Bowmasters. But the point is, we may have to fight through a permission spell here. There's the first step. Days Force Anime Dead. Anime Dead's not doing anything here. We just take the Force. Alright, so shields are down. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Jesus. Well, probably lost now. there's we have to hit two cards now. Now that they have force. It'll be interesting if they block. I guess they do. Actually, they probably should block with the Bowmasters, and Anime did it. Now that I think about it, that's probably better to be honest. I think we let it through now. They probably block with the Bowmasters here, and then the Anime did it on their turn. Kill our thing. That's kind of annoying. That's a good sign, I think. Actually, I take that back. They did it on our turn, so we're probably just dead. One, and I think it's really bad, actually. Actually, let's just concede. We're wasting time. Only one Shepherd, and I actually think it's the worst card in the deck. Board. I actually boarded out in this matchup. It's not really what the matchup's about. Alright, let's try to draw a little bit better here. I think this is fine. Like, it doesn't play the way it's supposed to in this matchup because you want to lead with Reclaimer and Thoughtseize, so if your opponent is any good, they're probably gonna spend their permission early anyways to try to play around it. And if they're gonna play around it, we might as well board it out. Thank you. Yeah, I'm committing that now. I just make sure he doesn't wake up. Probably need to feed him pretty soon. Ugh. Keep. I think I have. I hate keeping Arb, but I think I have to. I think that goes. It's gonna be a while before we can Artisan. I think we lead with C's. Very interesting plays from our opponent here. Why would they brainstorm like this? Guess they're trying to play around Bowmasters. That's another card that I've cut because people play around it anyways. I want cards that are always good, and only Reclaimer, Artisan, and Hierarchs fit that billing. Even Shepherd, I kind of want to cut, but the first one means all your Fiend Artisans are Shepherds, so I think that's worth it. You don't know if Reanimate should be the one that's bad. I mean, power level, it's definitely higher than the other cards. Ugh. I think the line here is going to be Reclaimer. It's really awkward that we drew the Bog, though. Um, there's an argument to be made that we should be saving the Green Sun for an Artisan because we drew the Bog. Huh. So we're gonna walk into days here, but maybe we have no choice. Yeah. There's an argument to be bluffing Reclaimer. I don't think I love that plan. Because it doesn't actually, well, it kind of progresses our board, but yeah, there's an argument to be made. We get Reclaimer there, pretend like we're holding a Bog every turn, and then I mean, they should be keeping it in against us, in my opinion. Okay, so here they grief us, so they know about it now. We're gonna Bog them, which is like relevant here. They forced, then we want to Bog the force too. I don't. I would feel better about our plan right now if we had the Bog in our deck. But no matter. I think we can still. We have to use Reclaimer to dig now, given the hand that we're dealt. We'll probably kill our. Yeah. They don't have any pressure, which is the good part. The problem is our shields are down because of Bog. Um, I think we got Bash. So if they had the combo here, we're just dead. Otherwise, we can get Jailer and just maybe lock out the game. That is a little bit scary. I think they have to reanimate. Like, there's no reason why they wouldn't do that. Maybe they stifle here. I don't know. We can beat that card for what it's worth. I really don't want to pitch a reclaimer, but maybe we have no choice. If we get stifled here, it's like a disaster, though. I think we lock them here and hope they don't have the stifle. True name. Interesting. Did not at all expect that. Seems very bad against us, personally. Actually, do we want to just clone our artisan here, or do we want to reclaim or just unlock our mana? Let's unlock our mana, I guess. We're gonna feel silly though if they have removal spell. Yeah, actually, let's unlock our mana, I guess. This also means the Misty gets to be a draw spell. Or pseudo draw spell. Baby might be waking anytime soon. Hey Marcus, how's it going? Sure, we're on a 4-ish turn clock now. It is going okay. What is going on here? The petty theft, that? Sure. How does your deck win? It puts an attack side into play. I think we can bin that. I just realized we're gonna be at virtual 6. That's a problem. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in the graveyard. I think we might lose this true name, which is super annoying. Which is not supposed to happen too. I cannot believe I'm gonna lose this true name like it's 2016. Jesus. Maybe it's on me. I reduced the clock by 1 turn because I fetched to thin. Maybe I'm supposed to not do that. Jesus. Actually, I screwed that up. I guess I can just put that on the graveyard. I should have attacked actually first and not give information and play the hard there. One, two, three, four, five, six. We're gonna be a turn late, and that's gonna be on my fault. Yeah, we're gonna be a turn late, and that's because I fetched. Why? I'll say engineer, then I feel better about myself, right? There's that too, I guess. It's the last card in their hand. Probably nothing. Days. Maybe we can trick them into thinking we have lethal here. Nope. What do we want? Actually, we screwed up anyways. They're not supposed to block. Embarrassing on my behalf, losing to a true nemesis. Like, if I don't fetch there and just like keep track of threes, I think we win this game, right? Granted, they could top deck easily a Bowmasters too, and then that changes the math. Very awkward game because of the borrower. Alright, we're dead. Just embarrassing. Cannot play tight today for some reason. Or ever. Uh, why are you saying GG, Marcus? I'm really confused. What's going on? Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. I forgot how game one went. Oh, I remember now. Hey, Gherkin JV. I actually like it a lot. There's an argument to be made, maybe only one, but I think it does a lot. It was kind of brutal too. Like, we did that, and then they had the Bowmasters on top. And we lost game one earlier to the third pilot because we didn't have the Canoptic main. I think the moral of the story here is, I think the days of main deck collective might be gone. I kind of want to swap the collector oof for the Scarab Swarm main. This is another bomb, right? We have the Mesmeric Fiend already. We have the Mesmeric Fiend already. Maybe that's enough against combo game one. You just get Fiend into play. Green Sun obviously can get a collector oof, and that's relevant against something like Storm, these artifact decks. But maybe we don't need it. Also, against in the fair matchup, a collector oof is like significantly worse. So I would have to think about that. Teamer Cascade. This is one of the harder matchups. I think bad is worse because it's worse if they have removal. Uh, if you play Fiend and your opponent casts removal, they lose two cards. If you play Bat and they have cast removal, they only lose one card. If they wait, then they get time walked. Okay, just 1 second. They can they just be a down a card though, right? Because they lose the bolt and the card if they do it. They can choose to wait. The problem with waiting is then they get time walked, right? Like then they don't spend all their mana. And I think in Legacy you have to spend all your mana. I probably should have led with higher in case we drew the Fiend. Or in case they chalice like top deck or something. Interesting. Smells like smells like they have Fury here. So I'm gonna play in a way that minimizes that damage. Here they have we have two X2s. And I'm not gonna play any of these out. If they Fury here, targeting Reclaimer, we're gonna go for the KO. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Should be a Muxus then. It's not the end of the world. Do we want that? Maybe, maybe not. Hey Mike, how's it going? Probably actually because it can potentially slow down their card. I think we have to keep because otherwise they can double pump, and that then is really problematic. I think we have to kill the Rival Master here and chump block the Dundee. How much is that? I think we have to get rid of this. Actually, that was a mistake because I could just. That was a mistake because I can rotate the thing next turn, the Arbor. So I should have chumped with something else. Oh my god. Hey Mike, how's it going? Maybe we stabilize here, we'll see. They kill the Fiend. That is interesting. Which means I blocked wrong then. I needed to block the other way. Alright, we're dead. We're... Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. We're probably just dead here. I'm playing horrendously tonight. So maybe did not pick the best day to stream. Actually, we're just dead regardless. That's gonna be 8, right? We have to hope our opponent doesn't know what to do. We screwed up because we're supposed to kill this thing last turn, and then we didn't, and then that's why we're gonna lose this game. Like, it would have forced them to fling for 8, right? But maybe it's one of those nights I need to call it. Not playing very well. What are we cutting here? Shepherd? Probably. Interesting. What do we do here? Their hand is pretty gas against us. I think this is the scariest card. I'm trying to play like at a reasonable place, even though I'm behind on clock because of the baby and whatnot. But we'll see. They opted to do nothing, which is interesting. It's entirely possible they did nothing because I didn't take their Blood Moon, and I didn't take their Chalice. Maybe that accidentally hinted to them that those cards don't really matter right now. That's possible. Or they drew like a Muxus or something. Sure. I hate that this implementation is stronger on MTGO than it is on. Oh my god, they drew another one. I hate that it's stronger on MTGO than it is on in paper. The sticker goblin. Well, I think we just died. Cannot focus right now. I'm like playing really loosely. I should not like run stuff into the bombardiers. They're probably gonna pitch. Oh, they did not. Wow. We don't even have the punish, unfortunately. Like, of all times, we boarded out the Gris. Ironically enough, relevant here. I don't even remember how we boarded here. I think we run this out and just like let it die. Grow the artisan. I should have attacked. It's a free attack, so missed that as well. Our opponent is like giving us outs. Unfortunately, we cannot punish it. This is a free block. What did they put into their hand? Oh, Matron and Muxus. I think we're dead on board, to be honest. Like with Atraxa in our hand. We have to draw Snuff out in this matchup, more or less. Not that it would have mattered because they have the Blood Moon too. This card is very hard to deal with. All right, I gotta tend to the baby. I can't focus right now, anyways. And all right, thanks everyone for hanging out. Let's see what we can raid. We'll raid the Asian Avenger, I guess. Oops. Here are my socials. And sure, no problem. I wish I could have played better tonight. I played horrendously, and I think I'm just it's gonna get worse because I can't focus at the moment. All right, enjoy. Thanks for hanging out.